What up, family? This is the Decisive Element podcast with Ronnie Portillo. Now let's get it. Hey, welcome. Welcome to the Decisive Element podcast. I am here with Paul Duncan, my boy, my recruiting homie, my fucking friend, army buddies, everything. Whatever you want to talk about. What up, man?
Not much. I'm nervous.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I've never done a podcast.
Let's put the mic a little bit closer.
Oh, okay. What's it called? Decisive Element?
Decisive Element podcast.
What's that mean?
You're the decisive element in your life, bro.
I am, or
You are.
I am.
You are.
I like that.
Yeah.
How'd you think of that?
My buddy Joe, the other guy that helps us run this thing, he sent me a quote, and I forgot specifically like who said it. I forgot his name. I probably should remember that shit. But it pretty much said that he came to the frightening conclusion that he's decisive. He's the decisive element in every situation. So depending on how he shows up in his life and in every situation, will determine if things get better or worse, or if he magnifies people, degrades people, or how he any situation can get escalated or de-escalated based off how he shows up.
That's true.
It is true, and that's why I fucking love it.
Yeah, I like that.
So it's just kind of like, and that's why you're here, bro.
We've got a lot of compliments on the logo.
On
Yeah.
the logo. Is that the one I saw on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
One of my buddies came up with that. Actually, hey, shout out to Saucy Downs.
I don't know him.
That's my buddy. He'll be on here later, eventually. But he's the one that came up with the logo because I was thinking, I didn't even know. I'm not really good when it comes to graphics like that. And he was like, think about an element, like the periodic table.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, fuck, that makes sense because it's an element that's always there. You.
Yep.
And you the one who has to change your life. So that's what we're going to talk about today, man.
That's sweet. I like it.
Because I appreciate you. I appreciate you in my life. I feel like you've always fucking motivate me when I talk to you about some shit. And
How long ago did we meet? This
2018.
So we didn't know
when
each
you
other.
get back in the army.
We found out about each other after I came back in?
Yeah, like while
not
you were in
not
the
before?
process. Nah.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we've known each other a lot longer than that.
I know it does seem like, but it's literally
That's
only
only
been
3
3
years.
years.
Yeah.
We've been
Oh,
chilling,
whoa,
man.
really?
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
yeah.
very long.
Oh, yeah. You guys talk about it as if you've known each other for
like at least
10
A
years.
long
like,
time, bro.
yeah.
We've had a good relationship.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
It is.
I thought we knew each other before I got out.
Nah.
Anyway,
Yeah, not because how long were you out?
like 4 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we could talk about that. Yeah. What were you doing in that time out? Because this
Yeah.
is what motivates
Wait.
me about you.
Wait, so
Yeah.
Paul, you were in and then you went out and then
Yeah.
came back in?
I was in and then out and now I'm back in.
Dude, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Double.
Doubled it up.
He was
Well,
like, fuck
yeah.
this life. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm in. Fuck it. I'm
Oh.
out. Fuck it. I'm in. Fuck this place.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, what, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can start wherever, man.
Oh, man.
What made you get in? So we're talking about the Army National Guard, obviously.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't know if everyone knows, but we're both in the Army National Guard here. We're both in the recruiting battalion. I do retention. He does recruiting.
Yeah. That's
was
pretty
in
much
recruiting.
all I've ever done is recruiting.
Yeah.
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 I joined when I was 21.
Okay.
Well, so I actually joined the regular army when I was 18. No one really knows that.
What? I didn't know
Yeah, I
that.
joined the regular army when I was 18,
Why?
and then because I was just sucking in college, and then I was like, no. After I signed, I was a dep discharge, So basically, I was just like, nope, not gonna not gonna do this. And then I decided I was gonna go to college and started partying way too much.
Yeah.
I was doing full-time college at the time, and I was the night shift manager at Rite Aid.
Okay.
You know what Rite Aid is?
Yeah. Like Walgreens?
Yeah, like Walgreens,
Yeah,
CVS.
right.
So I was like the night shift manager there. So I would go to school all day, and then like after school, I would. After school, I actually was. I was like a camp counselor,
Nice.
It wasn't
Yeah,
camp
yeah.
counselor, but it was like an after school daycare type of thing. I
Okay.
did that for like 3 hours,
Okay.
and then I went straight from that into Rite Aid until like midnight, and then I would wake up again and do it all over again. I was like, that didn't last very long.
Yeah.
So
All trying to pay for school?
just trying to pay for school, and basically all I was doing was failing out of school.
Yeah.
During that time, I was living on like campus housing,
Okay.
and I ended up failing out, and then I was basically just living on campus housing, not going to school for maybe 2 years.
No
And then-
way. Nice.
yeah. So then I was living the college life without actually going to class.
Yeah.
So that at that time I was just working at Rite Aid and doing the after school camp counseling thing. But then
Okay.
I had all day to just sleep in and
Yeah.
do whatever. So I was just basically getting fat and being stupid. And when I was 20, I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to get out of trouble and I'm going to move to Vegas when I turn 21.
Oh yeah. So where is this?
That's how you,
Yeah.
you got out of
Yeah.
trouble by moving to Vegas.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
So this is Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm going to move out of Vegas or I'm going to move out of Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
And I'm going to move to Vegas the day I turn 21. And I don't know how serious I was about that. I have an aunt and uncle who live here. So
Oh, okay.
I was like, I think I'm just going to go stay with them and figure things out in Vegas because I suck at life here. You
Yeah.
know? So what did I do then? I was telling all my friends I was going to do that, and they were all like, no, there's no way you're going to do that. And I don't think at the time I really planned on doing it. But
Yeah.
since everybody was telling me, no, there's no way you're going to do that, I was like, all right, now I'm actually going to do it. So
It does push you to do
Bro, he
it.
does.
thrives
'Cause
off that shit.
Bro,
'Cause
every time somebody tells me I'm not going to do something, I don't even care how stupid it
Yeah,
sounds.
he's
I'll
like,
just do it
"Fuck you,
anyway.
I'm
Yeah.
doing
Yeah, even if you're second guessing it, you're like,
Yeah. So I had a huge going away party at my apartment when I was 21.
Okay.
21st birthday party. The next day, I packed up all the stuff I could fit into this tiny car. I had the Audi Quattro, like the super boxy Audis.
Okay.
It's like a little,
I'm not really a car like that, but yeah, car guy
so
like that, but yeah.
a little 4-door,
Okay.
like Honda Civic
Yeah.
size car. Drove from Michigan to Vegas in like 2 days. I had
Damn.
I had like $1,000 in my bank account.
Yeah.
I broke down in St. Louis, and because I got caught in traffic.
That's like not even, what is that? That's not even like halfway here, is it?
St.
Kinda,
Louis is
maybe.
far, right? Isn't that
It's
like that's
about-
like central?
it's about halfway between
Okay.
Michigan and Vegas.
That's like central shit.
Yeah, so I broke down because my car overheated. I got caught in a traffic jam, and my car overheated, so I got stuck in St. Louis for like 2 days. Spent like half the money I had trying to
Oh man, trying
get
to fix it.
Yeah, stay in a hotel and whatever. Got to Vegas. When I got to Vegas, I had like no money, and that's when I met Brandon Stevens. He was my recruiter. He's like, "Hey, bro, why don't you just join the National Guard part time?" And I said, whatever.
Yeah.
It sounds good. I had really no interest in the military at this time, and he's just like, "Yeah, you should do it." So then I did that. Went to basic training and joined as a tank mechanic. Which anybody who knows me knows that does not suit me at all. I don't even, bro. When I have a light bulb at home needing change, I'll pay for somebody to come.
Really?
There. I have no interest in fixing anything. I have no idea how I made it through through tank mechanic AIT or Advanced Individuals Training for those who don't know. But I made it through. I don't know how, but I still don't know how to do anything with the tank.
I mean, you haven't been on it for fucking ever, but
I didn't know how to the day I graduated.
Oh yeah.
I don't think.
You just follow the book. I'm sure you get it. Yeah, you know, there's a fucking
I hated it though. I'm
sure.
I wanted nothing to do with that.
Doesn't sound like it suits you.
I should have joined as like a human resources.
Yeah, some type of paperwork pushing
for
something.
Sure. But anyway, that's what I did. And when I came back, I found my roommate off of MySpace.
Oh, no way.
MySpace.
Oh,
roommate.
Hey,
whoa.
MySpace.
That really dates this, what you're talking
Yeah, bro.
about right now.
Yeah. So found it was this professional BMX rider
Okay.
who lives here and lives in Vegas, and his girlfriend at the time got me a job at the MGM Grand working in the fitness center.
Nice.
So I was wearing one of those baby blue like tight t-shirts.
Yeah.
And like just sitting in the fitness center handing people water.
Giving tags and shit, or giving
out towels and water.
Yeah.
That's what I did for the next year. And then I just happened to walk into a job working in diversity and leadership for MGM corporate.
Okay.
The director of that department was working out in the gym.
Yeah.
And she's just like, "Hey, I see something in you. Come apply for this new job that we have." They were developing the diversity education
in the
department.
beginning. Yeah.
At the beginning. It was before it was even
Yeah.
built. Yeah. So I did that, and I got a job working in logistics for MGM corporate, and then that kind of just blossomed into a bunch of cool stuff with MGM. And then Brandon Stevens, the recruiter, he had an opening for recruiting.
Yep.
About 2 years later, and I just decided to take a chance at that, and then I did that for the next 6 years, and I was on military leave from MGM. So I held that job with MGM for like
forever
5 years while I was on recruiting, and Yeah, did that for the next 6 years.
And he was like the top recruiter 3 times a year, 3 times in the state that time, right? What was it?
Yeah, so the first year I got the rookie thing,
Okay.
and then the next however many more years after that, I did it. I was the top producer at least. I didn't win the Chiefs 54 thing.
Okay.
But, as far as numbers go,
Yeah, you just put him in there.
So is that like top recruiter for like
Nevada?
Nevada,
yeah. And you know what? The only reason in that is attributed to Brandon's leadership, because he was like, he started off the right way. He was like, you know what? If you just enlist this many people per month, I don't care if you come to work. I don't care what you do. Just do it. And then once I started doing that, he's like, hey, man, no one's ever done this good this early. And so he was just like kind of poking me. He's like, I really think that you have an opportunity to really do good. And at the same time, there was this other recruiter who was a real shitty recruiter working in the office. And he was kind of fat, crappy recruiter, just lazy, you know, like a lot of recruiters are. No disrespect to
no disrespect to the recruiters. Hey, you got to put in work.
But I remember the thing that made me like want to beat everybody, like be competitive in recruiting. Because I was just getting into running. He's like, hey man, you run a lot. That's really cool. Well, you're never going to be able to do that with this stressful job. You're not going to be able to manage being a runner and being a successful recruiter. And I remember that click in my head again. I was
That's the second time.
I was like,
second time there.
I was like, all right, I think I'm going to have to show you wrong on that. So I would just start showing up to work super early in the morning. I would go for my little run, and that's kind of what got me really heavy into running as well. And then I just got super competitive. Yeah, I knew nothing about like how to be a good runner or anything like that. I just was running, you know?
Then what made you go into like become a professional in that?
Well, I never really was a professional.
Oh, you want to call it? Yeah.
So, I don't know. I was in recruiting, and then I decided I was just running a lot, and then I met other runners. And the thing that made me get really into endurance sports in general was actually triathlon. I was kind of at that point in recruiting 4 or 5 years in where recruiting was really easy to me at that point. So I started taking up triathlon, and I started doing local races, started doing really good at that, and, you know, just slowly got better. I think my first triathlon, I was like pretty much last place.
Damn, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I think I can do better. So then that just kind of blossomed into that. And what happened? Well, then I somehow finagled my way into being a pro liaison for Lifetime Fitness. And they held this pro triathlon race here in Vegas. It was like this epic, crazy, it was like longer than an Ironman type of race. And so this has to be 6 years into recruiting, 5 or 6 years. So I was like, you know what, screw, I was showing up at this time. I'm showing up to work at like 11 in the afternoon, just focus on racing and stuff like that. And then I become the pro liaison for Lifetime Fitness. So basically my job as a pro liaison was to just basically organize the pros that were going to be racing in that race. So through that, I met a girl that I started dating who she ended up winning the race.
Oh, nice.
And we started dating, getting super serious. And she convinced me, she's like, hey, maybe why don't you just quit being a recruiter and leave the military and just go be a full-time triathlete with me. And I helped her like manage her sponsorships and stuff like that. And then I just started, so I quit the Army about a year later, but maybe a year later, 6 months later.
Yeah.
Quit the Army, and I was like, I put in a resignation.
Yeah, like obviously. You did. Well, you resigned your full-time job.
I didn't just leave.
Yeah,
but
there's a difference between the contract and then being active duty in the Guard. You can just quit it and then go back to your normal contract.
So I resigned. I don't know if this is too long-winded, but
bro, this is what we're here for, bro. Your story, dog. It's about you.
Yeah, so I resigned, and then the next 4 years, the next year, I was with her, and she was a pro triathlete winning a bunch of races, and I just started learning a lot about, or like legitimately learning about how pro athletes operate.
Yeah.
Then I quickly realized that I was never going to make it as a pro triathlete, so I started taking up coaching and became a triathlon coach, started a coaching business, and then I actually left the coaching business that I owned to go work for a bigger coaching business, which is QT2 Systems, and they coach a bunch of pro level triathletes.
Okay.
That company also coaches her. So that's how I got the in with that. And then I learned from what I consider to be one of the best coaches in triathlon. His name's Jesse Kropelnicki.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like the mastermind behind like nutrition and just how the body works and all those things. So yeah, so then I just really got heavy into coaching and did that for the next, so it was a total, I was out for about 4 years. Sometime during that, I ended up breaking up with this girl. We went our separate ways. It was amicable. We're still friends now. But, and you know, I was doing pretty good in the coaching stuff, but then the next girl that I moved on to, I ended up having a kid unexpectedly with her. His name is Harvey.
Shout out to young Harvey.
Shout out to Harvey. He's now 3 years old. So that leads back into why I decided to go back into the National Guard. I was missing it also.
Yeah.
But every once in a while I would run into Marco. He's our first sergeant.
Okay.
About to be sergeant major now. And he's like, whenever you want a job, come back. And I ran into him at the right time and decided to come back because I needed the insurance and wanted a more secure situation for Harvey.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So through that, I ended up getting married to Harvey's mom for a very short period of time. And
sorry, I don't mean to.
It happens, man.
So everything, and then went back in the Army. About 6 months later, we were done after I came back in, and now I'm a single dad with split custody of my kid. Chilling, and that's, I don't know, I probably left a lot out. But
I mean, you're still fucking doing the triathlon coaching.
Yeah, still doing triathlon.
And now you're kind of doing, you're still doing some type of diversity training, right? But now it's not with MGM.
Yeah,
it's with a different, what is that?
Yep. So I still do.
Or is it not just diversity, right? It's like
it's called valuing. It depends on who the client is.
Yeah,
but,
obvious. Yeah.
It's diversity, leadership, inclusion type of training. So it's the same. It's the same stuff that we did at MGM. So basically the situation was the company that I do the contracting with now, they basically did a contract with MGM. So they were like the outside consultant for that program. But it was such a big deal with MGM, but that they created their own thing, their own department for it. So same thing now. We have there's a 3-day workshop that we do. There's right now one of the companies that we work with it's 2 days. So right now a lot of it's virtual. But yeah, so I do that. I still do the triathlon coaching. I've been getting a lot more into just straight run coaching because that's a little bit more what I'm into. Yeah. But I do enjoy.
There's probably a lot more people that you could coach for just running versus like I feel like triathlon running is very like niche.
It is,
like I'm barely thinking about running versus, there's no way my brain's going towards triathlon, I suppose.
Right.
It's like a bigger market, I guess I would say.
It's a bigger market in running, but it's also triathletes are definitely a different type of, especially I would say our average market for triathlon coaching is like outside of the pro and elite level. Like that's the pros and elites don't really have money for coaching. So the target market for the business side of it is more like your 40-year-old doctor who's in like a midlife crisis.
Yeah, that kid's
trying to get his shit together, trying to figure something out.
That's actually, I would say about half the people I coach are that. Maybe not midlife crisis, but he might be, 40 years old. He's at a point in his life where he has his business side of his life figured out, and now he wants to do, during
something
that
different personal,
during that time period of growing his career, he maybe developed 30 to 40 pounds of being overweight, and he's like, well, what's a cool crazy way I can figure out how to lose this weight and be a badass? And for some people that's I'm gonna do an Ironman, so they come to us. And
how long is an Ironman?
An Ironman is a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and then a marathon, 26 miles at the end of a run. So
savagery, bro. That shit is no joke.
Yeah. So I mean, the range. I mean, the elite level does it in under 8 hours for elite men, and then you have all the way up to 17 hours. So the range and the different level of athlete that does this it's a very wide range.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can do an Ironman. 17 hours, you could pretty much walk the marathon.
Yeah,
anyone can do it. It's just a matter of like at what level do you want to do it. Some people just want to finish one. You know,
so they just fucking keep going until it's done.
So they just come to me and I give them a plan. But the more elite people, like they're trying to win the race, and that's a whole different animal.
Got you.
So yeah, I coach. I think I like coaching marathoners the best, just because that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah. And the main reason,
he's on the National Guard marathon team also.
Yep. So that's a really. I mean, honestly, that's part of the reason I came back in the National Guard. Was to do that. So about once a month we get to go and race on the National Guard's dime somewhere in the country.
That's rad.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. No, he's gone everywhere, man.
I was gonna
say. Yeah, I've been all over with that. That's really awesome. That's the cool thing about recruiting too, is it's flexible enough to where they allow me to.
You get what you got to do. You do your job, get your stuff.
Yep. You do your job, you do your stuff, and then, for me, it's a paid vacation because I love running. I mean, some people are like, yeah, but you gotta go run a marathon, but I like that. So
he's like, fuck yeah.
Hey,
so we gotta talk about April. So, hey, do you hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you.
You're good.
April of 2020, when COVID first happened, March. I remember all stuck in the house, and I remember talking to you, and you're like, "I'm gonna fucking run every day." What was it? A mile for every day every day of April. So if it's April 1st, he's gonna run mile. April 2nd, 2 miles, and follow the calendar day
all the way to the 30th.
All the way to the 30th, bro.
That's kind of a cool way to break it up. I like that.
Yeah, but
until you get to freaking mile 15,
yeah,
bro.
That's nuts.
Then the last. So I jumped on with you.
I didn't. What's funny is he stopped talking, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I could do that. I could run 3 miles." And then I didn't. My brain did not even go to like number 15. I'm like, I can't fucking.
And the day before you ran 14, and the day before you ran 13.
Yeah.
So I remember we having that conversation, and then you texted me. I forgot how it got brought up, and you was like, "Man, come out to me," and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm showing up." And you were on like day 24, I think.
That's when you came?
When I showed up for the first time, like almost the last of the end week. I ran 7 miles with you that day. And then I was like, I think I can do more. And then the next day I came with you on day 25, and I ran 16 miles with him.
Wait, so you did that? So you did that whole thing?
Yeah.
Bro, he did the whole thing,
so
dude.
Insane.
Yeah. Looking back at it, it's funny because now I'm back to kind of normal running, what I consider normal running.
Right.
And it's not nearly as much as that as that last week was. And I look back and I'm like, I don't even know how the hell I did that. It's crazy. But I probably learned more about myself and like my mindset, and because I remember like day 13, like I'm not gonna be
there's no way.
I was like, oh, I ran 13 miles today, now I gotta run 14 tomorrow. This is starting to get hard. But luckily it was the beginning. That was like the beginning of COVID. So like,
no, because we were already in lockdown when that happened. So when lockdown happened, March 16th,
and none of us were going to work at that time.
Yeah.
So that was a perfect month for it to happen, because I really just had to focus on that. I wasn't.
That's it. Yeah.
None of us were even worried about recruiting people at that time.
Yep.
Nothing. But it was crazy, man. I remember
that's an insane goal. That's
so the last 7 days I think was like 100 and I forget.
Bro, it was a lot.
It was like 140 miles for the last 7 days. And I did it all in singles. So like the rules are it was somebody, I learned this from somebody else. I didn't make this challenge up, but the rules are you could break it up. So like if you wanted to, you could do 3 for the day 30, you could have done 3 10-mile runs if you wanted to.
Throughout the day.
Yeah, but by like I think day 21 was the last day I did it in doubles, and I was like, screw this, I hate running in the afternoon. I'm just going to do it all in the morning. Because it was actually, in my head, it was easier to just finish the whole thing
keep going
than to go home, eat food, rest, and then like be anticipating another run all day. It was it just felt easier to. So like day 21 on, I think I did 20. I was starting at like 4 a.m, and because it was getting hot out in Vegas.
Hell yeah.
But man, like I can't even, like, even looking back on that now, I feel like that I knew 1 of 2 things was going to happen through that challenge. I was either going to get injured and never want to run again.
Yeah.
Or I was gonna learn a lot.
Yeah.
And honestly, day 30 of that run, I ran some of my best mile splits. I did the last mile at like a 6:40 something pace, which is
crazy after 29 miles,
which is like my marathon pace.
Yeah.
So for me, but there were times in the middle of that where I felt like I was waking up in the morning and my plantar fasciitis was like, I was getting out of bed and it felt like I was walking on glass and I couldn't even walk.
That's the thing that like a lot of skateboarders get too.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it's
I was
like in your heel.
No?
Yeah,
it's I think
it's the arch, no?
Oh, okay,
yeah,
it's the arch.
It can be. I was feeling it a lot in the heel and the arch.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because
stay on this side of the mic, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was waking up in the morning. I keep looking at this way, but I should.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
It's all right.
Good.
It's
good.
okay.
You're all good.
Hang out, man.
Well, because you know what, that monitor is going past the camera, so you're all good.
I like it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks like you're looking at the viewer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cool. So like every morning, it was on like the 15th day, I started thinking to myself, I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna be able to finish this," because like I was waking up in the morning and I couldn't walk, but like within a half a mile of getting into the run, it would just go away.
Yeah.
Every single time. There was like one day where I had like a pretty bad little meltdown. I think it was like day 22 or 23, where I really had to slow down. But it just shows you, like, if I would have woke up in the morning and got out of bed and like felt the glass in my feet essentially and said, "Fuck this, I'm not going to do it," I would have quit and I would have never finished it. But every single day, I just did it. I felt that way every day, like from like day 15 on. I was like, "There's no way I'm going to be able to finish this." But if I would have went with that mindset, like a lot of people do, I would have never finished.
I would have
never finished it.
You know, the crazy thing is that you always say shit like that. You're always like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm not the best, but I just fucking do it." And you're always like, "Yeah, you just do it, bro."
Yeah, like I'm definitely not the fastest runner.
Yeah, but the fact that you just get up and get it, that's what fucking motivates me every time when I talk to you. Like, it's just like, he's ready to go. He's just, this is what I chosen to do, and I'm going to finish what I chosen to do.
Yeah, I've been trying
why did you get, where did that come from?
There's a lot of athletes that have that like mindset too. It's almost like you like put a chip on your own shoulder to push you.
Know,
yeah.
There's like a lot of football, like, I'm a big football guy, but it's like there's a lot of football players that are that same way.
Yeah.
They get mistreated in college, and then they're just like screw you, I'm gonna do this.
Bro, I don't know. I don't know. I grew up playing like soccer and tennis, and I was never really very good.
Okay.
I kind of got made fun of when I was a soccer player because I was like the chubby kid on the team.
Really?
I wasn't fat, but I was the chubbier kid on the team.
Yeah, no way.
And I remember
Duncan Chubby over here.
Check him on the podcast, running marathons, training triathlons.
I remember, I'll never forget. So I don't know if my friend Josh DeBruin is going to watch this. He's from Michigan, but he was on my soccer team, and I remember, and we're great friends.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I remember him saying it was shirts versus skins. Or like we were at practice, high school soccer practice, and we were on the JV team. I must have been a freshman because it was like JV, right? And I remember him saying to me, "Well, I remember there's 2 points in my life where I got like fuck you, I'm gonna figure this shit out." Yeah. The first time was my dad. I'll go back. We'll go in chronological order. The first time was my dad, and he was like, I remember coming out. I must have been in middle school. I coming out, and he was sitting at the table smoking a cigarette, and I came out with my shirt off like in the morning. He's like, "Oh, you're putting on some weight there, aren't you, little guy?" So I must have been middle school or elementary. I remember that nothing really happened. I just kept being a stupid piece of shit at that point. But and then soccer, and I don't really think this changed me either. But now I think back on it when. He goes, this must have been freshman year. We take off. I was on team skins. I take off my shirt, and he goes, and then there was me and one other kid who was on the team who was also a little bit chubby. And he goes, "Oh, looks like the titty squad looks like the titty squad's coming out." And I remember, like, I was just a clown in high school, so I just laughed it off and whatever. But I still remember that today.
Like, it's stuck.
And now, now, I mean. And then I think I got skinnier after that, but I didn't really become like any kind of extreme athlete.
Yeah.
I think I just got really into like like watching what I ate and stuff like that, but I didn't know anything about it. And back then in high school, you couldn't just go on the internet and like learn about it. So I was just going off of whatever these other idiots were telling me.
Yeah.
Like they didn't know anything. And
like
then
you need 4 milk protein shakes.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember what I used to do, but I remember, I remember that's kind of like when that seed got planted, but then like time went on and I went through, like, I've always went through ups and downs, like if I would like gain weight or not. And then when I got into recruiting, I was like kind of into running, but I sucked at it.
Yeah.
I remember when that guy was like, oh yeah, you're never going to be able to be a runner or whatever. And then I remember I didn't really that much at that time, but then I started gaining weight. And that's kind of when I got into triathlon, and I just got obsessed with it. And really, at the beginning, it was just so I wasn't going to be fat. I was like, I always say, what's the thing that I say? My 2 biggest fears in life. Did I tell you this before?
Yeah. Say it though. It's funny. I love it.
My biggest passion in life. You remember what it is?
Not getting fat.
No, my biggest passion.
Oh, no.
My biggest passion is not getting fat.
Biggest fear, sorry.
My biggest passion is binge eating. I love to just stuff my face.
Bro, you really do.
No, you got to watch his YouTube channel, bro. He has like these food reviews, and he literally...
No,
what was it? How many Oreos can you eat? How many burgers? He has all different types of shit. Check it out.
That's
man.
what
I suck at that too.
Yeah.
I suck at speed eating.
Dude,
I only did 6.
I will say though, like it doesn't make sense because like that was kind of like my first introduction to you. I think Justin, my roommate, he showed me your video of like you doing like the takeout. What do you call them on YouTube? You have a name for it or something, right? I don't know, like you like something in cars or I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, I just do all the reviews in the car.
Okay, yeah.
Much.
Your food reviews.
But what's it called? What's your YouTube?
You just do it.
It's just called Paul Duncan Jr.
There you go, Paul Duncan Jr.
Yeah, if you want to search it, Paul Duncan.
I was gonna
Jr.
say we'll put all your stuff in the description as well.
Yeah, I'm terrible at that. I don't even have like one
no,
day.
but they're entertaining. You do, and you edit them pretty good too. Like I think you do make good stuff. But the thing that makes me laugh is like when I found out, because that was the first thing I found out about you, and then was those videos, and then like I'm hearing that you're a triathlon coach. I'm like, how the fuck? This doesn't make any sense.
He runs all the shit off. Like he just does.
I mean,
thing.
yeah.
But you know what? I have a very good understanding of good nutrition.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. Like I'll do these. I'll go to Burger King and do
some stupid shit
the
like
Big
that.
Macs or whatever. I do that. And at this point in my life, I'm not eating for performance. Obviously, but the people I coach, I'm very, very strict on exactly how they eat, how they fuel, all that stuff. So, so anyway, my biggest passion is binge eating or just I love to freaking just eat as much food as I possibly. Like we're going to sushi later. I'm gonna everyone, even when I don't eat a lot, people are like, bro, you're eating a lot of food. They're like almost awkward with like how much food I'm eating.
Well, he burns the shit off so quickly. Either he runs like 10 miles a day minimum. Let's get to the fear, bro.
But no, first let's be honest about the whole. That's always the answer I get. Oh, you burn it off, no big deal, bro. When I wasn't running any miles, I was still eating the same amount of food.
Yeah, but
then you just said you were getting fat.
Yeah.
But
you're getting overweight then.
But I don't do it because I run.
You just really enjoy doing it.
I run because I just don't want to be fat. So the biggest passion is binge eating as much food as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And my biggest, and it doesn't even really matter what kind of food. I don't discriminate on the food.
Yeah.
Food is good. I love everything. What was the other question?
No, you're saying your biggest
passion and your biggest fear.
Oh, my biggest fear is being fat.
Yeah.
And it's a tough. So what do? You gotta run. So
you gotta do something to counterbalance it.
So
I love it. Dude.
But even no matter how much you run, though, it doesn't matter. Like
obviously.
You could still get. Maybe when I was doing that April challenge, like I couldn't eat enough calories.
Yeah.
But I mean, with the amount I run now, like. A big week for me is like an 80-mile week.
Okay.
I would say 80, maybe 90.
Mm-hmm.
And a small week is like 50. So I can easily continue to eat enough to still get fat.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I've just figured out a way to kind of make it so I can like today I went for my run this morning. Today was like an 8-mile run. I just went for 8-mile run. I ate breakfast right after, and I haven't ate since then. So it's going to be like 9 hours between times to eat. But basically, the calories I ate after my run was just enough to replace the calories from that run. So I still got like 3,000 calories I can eat tonight.
Yeah, and we're gonna go get some
and I'm
sushi,
excited about
hell
it.
Yeah,
and I love it.
And I'm excited about it,
bro. All I think about all day is just eating.
Hell yeah.
I think so many people can relate though to that.
Yeah.
Like even like, you know, everybody's afraid of being fat. Even yeah.
You should be.
Like I've never really been fat, and
disgusting.
I'm super scared of being fat.
You should be.
Well, it's just like not healthy for you, you know. It's
No,
like
it's not.
it's just not. It doesn't do the body good. It puts on your bone can only take so much. All the blood pressure, everything, like all the science is there.
By the
no
way,
matter what you want to call it, like the science is there. It's not healthy for you.
Just because you're skinny doesn't mean
And that-
you
yeah.
can just eat whatever too. Because I've recently in this past like couple weeks, I stopped eating fast food, and it's crazy. Like the game, just my energy throughout the day is totally different. And people all told me that, but I didn't believe them.
Yeah, and you know what? But the funny thing is
And I've been skinny the whole time. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm like, oh no, I'm in shape, but it's like, no, I'm not.
right.
he goes to
Skinny,
soccer and
that's
throws
got-
up.
Oh my
Sorry,
god,
bro. Put you out there,
oh
dog.
dude.
That's called skinny fat, bro.
Yeah,
yeah,
truly.
yeah.
You should have seen me. I played an indoor soccer game last week. It was like the first time. I haven't played in years. And dog, I went in for like 2 rounds of subs, and I came out and I yacked. I went in the bathroom and I threw up, but as soon as I threw up, I had a ton of energy. I had so much energy. I ran out there and I was like, "Yo, put me back in." And I went in there and I scored.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was probably I was happy about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy because the thing I've learned about the whole, because I followed a lot of different, I followed the eat. When I was trying to lose weight, I was like, oh, you need to eat 6 small meals a day to keep your metabolism going. Like for me, that would never work because
Like all the different trends that you saw.
yeah, like all the different trends. And like really the thing that's actually working best for me is like I don't eat before I run now unless I'm running like a long ways. I'll eat a little bit. I wake up in the morning. I just go straight into my run. I basically, I mean, I don't like to call it intermittent fasting because that's not intentionally what I'm doing. But yeah, I wake up in the morning and essentially I'm doing it fasted. I'll do my coffee with creamer. So I'll maybe have 50 calories in the morning. Mm-hmm. I'll go for up to a 13, 14 mile run on no calories. And then I'll get home, but then I get that 1,500 calorie breakfast, which I get super excited about. And then
You see a smile when he does it, man.
dude, I love it.
Yeah, like it's like genuinely.
Yeah, like
that's all
like,
it's really
He had it in his head.
Yeah,
Like
he
he was
did.
thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll just kind of go. Then I'll go the whole. For me, just eating 1 or 2 meals for the day is way better for me. Like
Gotcha.
I digest it better.
Yeah.
I have no. The problem for me is I have no limit on how much. I feel like I don't have a limit. I don't get full.
Okay.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard for me to get full. Like anytime, really the only time I stop eating, I mean, I joke about this, but it's actually kind of true. I don't stop eating because I'm full. I'm stop eating because I feel shameful and embarrassed. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like when people start looking at me like, dude,
You're still going,
yeah.
dude?
I'm like, okay, I think it's probably time to stop. I don't get full. I don't.
Damn.
Like I could go to all you can eat sushi and feel full for like 10 minutes, but if I stop for 10 minutes, I could just start it.
See, I'm like the opposite. My body, like, I know when I get full or when I'm coming too much, and I can't eat too much. Yeah. And I'm the same way when before I work out, I can't eat at least for 2 to 3 hours before I work out.
Yeah.
I just don't like moving on the belly with stuff in my belly.
But but by the way, if you're an athlete going to come to me for coaching, I'm not going to tell you to do what I'm doing.
No, of course,
Like,
obviously.
the shit that I'm doing is
Right.
It works for me, but I do feel like I would perform better if I followed a more right, but that's not, I mean, it took me 36 years to really start being honest with myself. Like really the only reason I'm doing this is to not be fat. I love the day to day of the running. I realized a couple things through that.
Oh, the April challenge. Yeah, let's get to those. What did you realize, man?
One thing I realized is I used to be so obsessed with like race results. Like I'm going to do this time for a marathon or I'm going to go this time in an Ironman. And really the reality is I don't really love racing that much. Most people I feel like are the opposite, or at least they say they are. They're like, they can't train if there's not a race on the horizon to train for, where
Gotcha.
I'll use a marathon as like an end goal, but I really just like building myself a training plan.
Gotcha.
I really love that.
Yeah, and we could talk about that too, because this dude is like one of the most structured person I know. His fucking calendar from the moment he wakes up to when he does his dishes to when he does his clothes, when he eats his food.
So you do the
like,
to-do list
bro,
of like brush my
and
teeth.
he changes
Kinda.
like the calendar.
Really?
He changes the calendar color inside his phone. Like he has this whole systematic approach to how his days are met and what is planned for the week. So talk about that a little bit, man, because you clearly that is obvious. So this.
Well, hold on, wait.
Or at least obvious.
How did we segue into that?
Because you talked about how you love building the plan of running.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, man. And it took that April challenge for me to I had more fun during that challenge than any race I've ever built up for. Like I've had good perform. I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't think it was fun until May when it was over.
Oh, okay.
Like I looked back on it. I'm like, oh my God. But on day 30, I wanted to go on day
you want to keep going.
I wanted to run again on May 1st, but I committed to not. But, but now I'm doing a run streak where I'm running every day.
I saw that. Yeah.
But we'll go back to that. A lot of people do that. A lot of runners do that. But it's cool. I've run 79 days in a row.
I mean, I'm not deep on like the running community or whatever, but the April challenge that you're talking about, I've never heard of that. Maybe other people have done that.
It's an ultra. I mean, you think about it. You're running. I mean, the last 4 days, you're doing an ultra marathon each day.
Yep.
So you're going beyond a marathon for 4 days in a row. So it's pretty crazy thinking back on it. I don't think a lot of people should do that. And I mean, I guess it's questionable if I should have or not, but I mean, I feel like I came out of it stronger.
Who cares? You did. I mean,
I
if
think
anything, man, you motivated me.
But I also had a friend that did the same thing on April week, and on day 23, he tore his calf muscle. So,
I was gonna say any doctor would be like, "What are you doing?" They would tell you not to do it.
I think some doctor commented on one of my things. They're like, he was a physical therapist. He's like, "Oh yeah, physical therapists love these challenges," because I was
they get so much business.
Yeah. Here comes the money, man.
Yeah, but I was jacked up from it. But what I realized through that is I really just love building. I just love setting I love the grind of just getting up and doing some weird shit every day. And for me, that's running.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I can do this until I'm super old because I don't know what I would do right now in terms of if I had to stop running today, I would probably be fucked because that's like the thing that I do.
It's just a part of you now.
It's a part of me that I do every single day. Sometimes I wake up and I hate it. Sometimes I love it, but I've never gotten up and done a run. And then at the end of it was like, oh shit, I wish I wouldn't have ran. I love it. It's just, but,
hell yeah.
But for a while, when I was doing it, when I was trying to be a pro triathlete, I was I'm going to be a pro triathlete. And I was so focused on the result of because to be a pro triathlete, you have to perform at a specific, and I hated it. I was dating this pro triathlete chick that could beat my ass. It was
results driven.
It was results driven
instead of freaking enjoyment driven.
Yeah, and then now that I think about it, so the April challenge was really the first thing that I ever did that was a challenge that I didn't care how long it took. If I had to go out and walk the 30 miles on the last day, I was it wasn't about how fast I go, nothing. And it turned out I ran faster than I ever freaking ran on. Yeah. I remember on day
that's so dope.
Yeah.
Man.
I remember day 26. So marathon day. Yeah. Of course I did the 0.2 to give myself a marathon. But I remember on day 26 when I finished the marathon cause day 25, I was like, fuck, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this thing. Day 24, I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to. Every day I was like, I don't think every day I was from day 15, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. And then when I got to day 26 and I finished the marathon, I was like, I'm good. I'm here. I'm good now. Now tomorrow I just gotta do 27. Okay. Yeah. Oh, tomorrow I gotta do 28. Okay.
Dude, we had this path. God, he had this path crazy. In Henderson where he would just go down and back, down and back.
And I love the regiment of that too. It was 30 minutes out, 30 minutes back. Yeah. And then I had my Jeep set up with water bottles, take some fluids and calories and did it again. And I had people meeting me there. So I was like, just meet me at the Jeep, bro, and you can do a lap with me. Yeah, that's what you did. Yeah. It was fun, man. It was a way for me to be social because I'm, we can go into the introvert extrovert thing too, but I feel like I'm a super introvert, but everybody else thinks I'm an extrovert, but I'm not. dude, I go home and I sit by myself and I close the doors and I like being social under my own terms only.
Yeah.
Like I'm really good at getting in front of a room and like presenting to people, but if you put me in like we're totally going off topic, but if you put me,
bro, you're the topic, bro.
Yeah, but I'm trying to stay structured, bro.
Yeah, see, that's it. The structure, bro. The structure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you put me into a room, like if you send me to like a dinner party with like where it's like there's multiple little groups.
Got you.
Like I'm put in charge. Like if you put me into that situation, I go straight to the food and I just eat the whole night. And I don't talk to anyone unless they come to me by the food.
Yeah.
It's like my safety zone.
Got you.
It's super weird, but it took me. I realized that I feel like during the April challenge because I had so much time to just.
Yeah.
Bro, I listened to so many audiobooks like the days I was running by myself.
Yeah.
Like that's when I got really into reading, like during that time.
Yep.
Now I've read since May, I've probably read 12 to 15 books if you combine audio and.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know where.
Rad.
What's your favorite book so far?
Well, actually right now the one I'm reading, it's The Single Dad's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm actually really enjoying that.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
It's really good. Yeah, I was gonna do the audio version, but this guy has like a British accent, and I freaking hate that.
That is like such a big thing. Like I know people rave about audiobooks, but man, there's a lot of times when they're reading it, and I just cannot. It's just so meh. I can't.
I'm not too much of a fan.
It's got to be the right. Well, for me, I do that during it's structured.
Running. It makes perfect sense.
No, I don't do it when I'm running. Usually.
Oh no,
only during that challenge I did. I haven't since then.
Okay.
Now I do it. So on my schedule. So right now my schedule is 4 a.m. wake up. From 4 to 4:15 is when I make my coffee. From 4:15 to 4:45, I check all my emails to make sure I don't got to do any bullshit.
Yep.
And then from 4:45 to I have a half hour. 4:45 to like 5:15. I'll try to fit in a 10-minute meditation from the Calm app.
Okay.
And then now I do it outside since I just got that apartment with the new view off. It's so sick.
Yeah.
And then I do a 15-minute block of cleaning with my audiobook, whatever the audiobook is. Okay. And that's what I do. And then I go right into my run. Got you. That'll have to change in the summer because I'll have to run earlier because that takes me to like 7:00. Okay. Doing all that stuff.
So are you gonna do this April challenge again? This April?
No. So the only reason I actually did that was because the marathon team trials are usually in May, and I was already pretty fit for that. Okay. And then it got canceled, so I was like, I need something to do. Right. Okay. Like I need a reason to not lose my motivation.
I think because I was just curious because I think it would be kind of cool if you got if you did it yearly. Almost. Yeah. It's a really hard thing to do, but to have like a bunch of people do it with you,
It is fun. I mean, I don't know if I would be as pumped on it this time because I've done it before. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm like, well, I know I can do it. Now it just might be like, it's not a very smart way to go about running. Yeah. Like running. And it was kind of like the perfect condition because COVID happened. COVID happened. He didn't get his time to do the marathon team and then just be out with people. Yeah. It was just on a whim. Like I decided like the 28th of March to do it. And I was like, oh, well, let's see how day 1 goes. Day 2 goes. Day 1, I was like, I only ran a mile, and I was like, well, shit, I got to go to the gym or something because this is stupid. No, I think the biggest thing I learned about that, about like generally speaking, I think the biggest thing I learned during that time was I just really like creating a structure. Like now, like with the way I've like I've got really structured with my days now. And I know. And I won't give that up for anybody or anything. Yeah. Like I realize like I have to have that. So if I ever end up in another relationship or anything like that, like super serious, like they're going to have to be okay with that shit because that is the thing that makes me like feel like I'm in my, whatever I do, whatever it is that I'm doing, that doesn't matter. I just need that. Yeah. I just need that cut and dry. I don't know where that came from, honestly, but I do remember when I was, cause you asked me earlier, where did that come from? Is that what you asked? I do remember a time where my dad bought me like a, I don't know if my dad bought it for me or not, but I remember, I think I was meant for that because like when I was like, it had to be middle school. He bought me like a little daily planner. Okay. And I remember I remember sitting at like my uncle's house and they were like watching, my dad was really into boxing. Mm-hmm. So we were sitting there and I was like just entertaining myself and I'm writing fake meetings Like I'm in 6th grade. I'm like in my calendar.
Yeah.
Like I remember going up to my dad and like I was like, hey, I got a meeting at
That's awesome.
Because my dad is like, he's kind of the same, but he just worked in a factory. Like he worked, like I was like, I remember I did not want to do that. I remember he took me to work and his job was dirty. His job was like hard labor. And I was like, I remember him trying to teach me how to like.
And that's in Michigan too.
This is in Michigan.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. I don't believe. Yeah.
I remember him, and my dad's like the typical like. He would wake up at like 5 a.m. He would be at work before I even woke up for school. Like I got my shit. I lived with my dad from 3rd grade on.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved out from my mom's. I guess that's another story that would be had. But yeah, I remember like he would be gone before I would even wake up. But he was the type of guy who would just go to work 12 hours, grinding in a factory. Like I remember sometimes he would bring me in there, and I was like, he would make me like push a broom around and stuff, like just to entertain myself. And I was like, I hate this. Like I
do not.
And then
I will not be here.
I remember when I got my first car, I was like 15. I had saved money and I bought a car.
Yeah.
Shitbox
Yeah,
car.
so
And
what? Yeah.
He was like trying to teach me how to like change the oil and stuff, and I hated it. I was like, I am not working on cars. I'm not doing any of that. Like
Changing the oil.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing this. Like I remember I was so.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty much the same way. Like, I hate doing this.
I hated it so much, and I rebelled against it. Like
Yeah.
to the point of like. Now, like I won't even change a light. Like
Yeah, I'm not
I was
that
like, no,
extreme, but
but now I'm to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna go make a living working hard at things that I feel like I'm good at.
Yeah.
So I can pay somebody to do this shit that I don't ever want to do.
Yeah.
So anyway,
but that's like fucking dope. That's what I mean. That's what we're trying to do right now. Like
so many people though.
Yeah.
Like so many of like my family members.
Yeah.
Like I remember talking about taking my car. This is like 3 years ago. And I remember, and you know, most of my family in Michigan, they're broke and they don't have, you know, most of them,
yeah,
they're all definitely just living paycheck to paycheck for sure. And I remember talking to my uncle about how I paid to get my oil change, and he was mad at me. Like he's like, no,
that's funny.
He's like, you're not a man if you don't change your own oil. And I was like, are you a man because you fix your own car? I got a brand new car that I paid cash for, bro. Like, yeah. I'm like, who's doing better?
You
like,
broed him.
He broed him.
He
broed his uncle. He's stupid. Bro.
But seriously, like,
no, I feel you. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, it's not being cocky, but it's why would I spend? It costs $20 to get your oil changed.
Yeah,
I can make more than $20 in that hour. It's gonna take me like 5 hours to do my own oil, right?
Yeah,
why would
why
would I do that?
And you don't enjoy it.
I hate it.
So why you fucking do something you're not enjoying?
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah. That's retarded. Like, why would you? To me, it just doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Like, why do that? So anyway, the calendar thing. I remember I was like writing fake meetings. Like I was like, oh yeah. I remember just thinking in my head, I wanted to have a job that let me travel.
Yes.
Even though that now I'm not really that into traveling. I think it's kind of annoying.
Okay.
But I remember I was like, I'm gonna have a job where I travel and I'm gonna have meetings. Like I'm gonna have that kind of job where I like. I don't know about sitting in the office. I remember I wanted to have an office.
Yeah.
It was, I don't even, like, what kind of a dream is that?
I don't know, man, but you had it and you kind of created it.
Yeah. So now I'm in a, recruiting for the military. I'm in the only job in the military where I can create my own schedule. There's no
only job.
The only job in the military. Like,
yeah, my bad.
I get to, and you know more than anybody that I struggle with a lot of the ways the military operates. I don't really believe in 100% of it.
Yep.
But I do believe it's good. I do believe I'm in a position where I get to change people's lives.
Yep.
I get to make my own schedule. I get to, if I can do my job in 3 hours a day and make $80,000 a year or whatever it is, I'm making, what's the math on that 3 hours a day per hour that I'm making?
Yep.
That frees up the time to do things that I am passionate about.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there are things I'm passionate about in the military.
Yeah.
I'm definitely passionate about changing these kids' lives, which I feel like I'm able to do. But at the same time, I'm able to, like, the amount of success I have outside the military, that's 100% on me.
Exactly.
And if the military ever stops me from doing that, I'll leave.
Yeah.
And that every single person in our chain of command knows that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I will make and I rub a lot of people wrong in the military, and so do you. That's what I mean. That's
why we're cool.
That's why we're, and I tell them, I'm like, look, this is what I'm good at. This is the value I can add to the organization.
Yeah.
If you try to make me do some other shit that I'm not good at or I don't find passionate, I'll leave. I'm not afraid to do that. And I think that's the difference between me and a lot of people who are in either the military or just organizations.
Or other organizations that they're not happy there.
Yeah. Like for me, I am passionate about certain things. I will do the things that I need to do to be good at what I do. But if you start trying to do the political, make me be involved in the political stuff and all that, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to do that. I don't know. It's a lot of people.
It's been a foundation. I mean, that's what I'm at the same way. It's just like it's just like such a thing to talk about. It's just because it's like
a fight. It's a fight, and that's the thing. It's a constant fight against people because most people don't think that way.
Yeah,
most people don't think that way in the military. They're most people are like, oh, well, it must be nice to this, or it must be nice to go out and be able to run in the morning. It must be nice to have. I'm like,
you could create your own shit. Why don't you create your own life?
I'm like, first of all, you're acting like I'm not working. Like, I work, bro. I do. I work. I get up.
Paul's out here broing everybody.
I know. Well, hey,
dude. But he performs. That's the thing. Like that's the difference. Right. It's like, what are you gonna say to somebody who's showing up every day, doing what they need to do, getting the job what you're asking to be done, and always succeeding, and then passing that knowledge on to other people. So it's not like you not just came in there and did it for yourself. Yeah. You actually taught other people. You motivate other people. You inspire other people. So what would an organization do? Why would an organization try to get away from people who are like that?
And I feel like they do. And that's the problem. That's the fight.
That's always been the fight. Like I feel like the man, when you talk about the man, like it's like
they want, let's not say we're talking about the military at this point.
Yeah. But it's just, it's just kind of anything. It can be anything though. Any big organization where they try to make you feel like, this is my issue with big organizations. And it's not just that, because when I was working at a bank in different places, it's like, I owe you something. No, I don't. I'm choosing to be here. And I feel like people give their power away to these organizations because they have a paycheck coming to them. So they feel security thinking it's actually the organization. It's like, bro, I don't need to be here.
Now too.
Yeah. Like, I don't need to be here, dude. I'm choosing to be here because somehow this affects my life in a way that I like it to be here. And I'm using it to build a foundation, or just using it in that sense of that certain purpose that it's fulfilling in my life. But no organization or like no other person, no one owes anybody shit. You don't have to be here. We don't have to be doing what we need to be doing. You don't have to stay married. You don't have to stay in the military. You don't fucking have to raise your kids. I'm sorry, but these are real goddamn truths. And people need to understand that those truths are real, because once you actually understand that those are actually options, then you actually take control of your life. And that's why we're fucking here talking about decisive element. And that's why you're here, because you're the one who actually fucking controls everything in your life. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can actually look at yourself and be like, what the hell do I need to change? What do I want to become? And then set the path to be there. But that's also like, it takes courage. It takes guts. It takes looking at yourself in the mirror. That sucks because, oh shit, I'm a shitbag. I don't want to be fat, or I don't want to be overweight, or I don't want to be fucking slow, and whatever the hell that excuse is to you, because each individual person is different when it comes to that. But that's where the collective comes involved. We all have that same experience. So that's like the hero's journey. Jordan Peterson talks about that. Take responsibility. Me too. Take responsibility of your life. It's like, this is what this is about. The things that I am choosing to do in my life are the things that I am choosing to do based off that enjoyment, like you felt when you ran. It wasn't about the results. It was about, how do I feel when I'm doing this internally, and what does it bring out of me, and what does it create inside of me? And once you experience that and you share that with other people, that's why we feel like we've known each other forever, because I see you in me, and I see, and vice versa. So it's like, we need, I don't know, man. I don't want to say we. It's just I feel like this is why it's important for me to sit here, and this is why we're starting this podcast, man, because I want to be around, and I want to be around people and consistently have communications, and like learn communication with these individuals who think this way, and learn from each one of them, because each one of them has their story of how they got to this point. And I think everyone needs to get their goddamn power back. The organization don't owe you nothing. The organization will keep, big organizations like the military, like Amazon, like Walmart, all these organizations, you will continue. They will continue
with or without you.
With or without you.
Yep.
And that's just the truth.
So it's your choice to make it work for you, or
you're working for them.
Yeah. And it's a give and take.
No, exactly. And you can make it a win-win situation.
Yeah. Like, and the thing that they try to do is they see someone who's a top producer.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you can do this, so let's milk you for all you're worth, and then let's coddle the people who can't.
Yep.
And that's typical in any organization unless it's incentive based.
Yes.
And yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even in the bar, and I've been in the food and beverage bar industry for my whole life, and it's like it's the same exact thing like you're talking about.
Yeah, so you have to. It's crazy because so I'm in this struggle where, I want to be the top recruiter. I want to be the best runner. I want to be whatever it is. Like I don't care about being the top recruiter, but I do care about doing my best.
Yeah. And
I do enjoy. I think the thing that I've always enjoyed about recruiting, and I think the reason it looks so easy for me now, is because I've created a system, and I've enjoyed creating that system.
Yes.
And now my mission has shifted to, I'm just trying to get one other person to use my system.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
You got people.
And
I got one person using my system, and guess what? She's the top recruiter in the state now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that, like, that's the part that I like.
Well, it shows you. Exactly.
That's the part. Like, okay, I showed that I can recruit. I showed I can
run.
I joined the military. I can be the top recruiter. I can leave for 4 years. Everyone's like, oh yeah, when he comes back, he's not going to be the top recruiter because he's old now. Okay. I proved that I can do it again. Okay, well, this is why. Here's the system. So now my biggest struggle is trying to get people to buy off on what the hell I'm doing. Like, because if everyone just did what I was doing, I'm not doing anything special.
Yeah.
I just automated everything.
Yeah.
And I did it. And when I say automated, I don't mean like high tech. I'm not good at that shit.
You don't have like robots.
But he has a system down. He has a system in place.
I have a system. I'm like,
that comes down, do this, do that.
Like, oh, but you're good at talking to people. No, I'm not. I send them a video. I send them a copy and text. I don't even talk to them until they're pretty much sold on joining. That's when I get to know them.
Yeah.
I just don't waste my time.
But that's your overall that's mentality is your overall mentality everywhere. It's just like, if you're going to be the best, then, and we've had this conversation before, is just like, you have to be the best in every area of your life.
Yeah.
Because if you're not being your best in one area of your life, that's going to leak into the other areas of your life, even the ones that you're really passionate about.
Yeah.
And that's when you mess up. People it's like the separation, church and state, all these different separations, acting like you can be different, but you're the same person in all these situations. How do you adapt to each one is by showing, hey, I'm going to be best in this situation. And that's what you do consistently. Yeah. And that's what I've admired about you. And that's why we're so fucking good friends.
I think the thing that I think what it all boils down to, like at the end of the day, for me, and I'm trying to figure this out.
Always learning,
it's
man.
So
We're always learning.
It's so hard to figure out I'm like, why am I like this? Why don't I just chill at the pool?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, why can't I just do that? But I can't, dude. I can chill at the pool for like an hour, and I gotta figure something out.
Bro, we're living. We got one life, dog. Like, we're here for a little time, and it's like, I don't know.
But for me, it's like, okay, I don't know what it is for you, but I think like the thing I've kind of boiled it down to is like, I like the proof. I like to prove it. Like whatever
to
it
yourself.
is. I don't know. I just like with the running, with the coaching, it's not that I really like coaching. It's that I like to prove that what I've learned is going to work for you, because I like to sell it. I like to sell them. Like with the coaching, like it's every new athlete that comes to me, they come to me and they have all these crazy ass ideas of shit that they've read on Men's Health magazine or whatever. I'm like, no, you're going to do it this way, exactly the way I say. And then if it doesn't work, then we'll figure it out. And like 1 out of 10 of them actually do what I say. And that 1 out of 10, they always see huge results. And it's not that it's not special. It's not that what I'm doing is special. It's not that what I'm doing, and it's the same thing with recruiting. Like I want to teach out of the 25 recruiters that are in Nevada or Southern Nevada, I want one of them to be like, okay, I'm gonna.
I think that's the thing about getting older, bro. Is that once you feel like you've figured out something for yourself, it's like a natural. It's like a natural human thing. It's like, hey, like I figured this out. I want to pass this now on.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I feel like part of it's ego, but I feel like as I'm getting, I feel like the beginning of it, I was like, no, just listen to me. Like it was like my ego trying to force it on people. But now it's still probably my ego, but it's like I'm trying. So like now that I've taught the one recruiter how to be really good at it, I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like, I don't care. Like she's good, you know? And once I get, like with coaching, once I teach them how to do it, I'm like, okay, you're good. You don't really need me anymore.
I think with me, it's about, I really enjoy watching myself go through the process to mastery.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I like watching myself like suck at something at first. And it sucks. And I'm like, God damn it. This is like driving me nuts that I suck at something. Yeah. And then like this podcast, man, I'm like, I got to get better at interviewing. I'm like so self-conscious about how much
good at it.
I'm talking. I'm paying attention to freaking, I'm trying to pay attention to how much what's going on.
Rogan, but.
Hell no, but that's the goal. Like, you know, I love Jordan Peterson said he might be the best interview of all time. And I'm like, all right, well, I got a goal.
Yeah.
I got something to go towards. And why do I have to limit myself? Why do I got to limit who I am just because somebody else reached that? And there's no competition between me and anybody else because I don't know what's going inside of you. I can't change you. I can't, my biggest thing is I can't do anything really to help anybody else besides just being my goddamn self.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like, I enjoy watching myself go through the process of not knowing what the hell I'm doing to know what the hell I'm doing, where then it becomes totally, it's just my body doing it.
Yeah.
And I've done that in so many different areas of my life that now like this is another thing that I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to depend on nobody else's income. I don't want to depend on what other people can tell me. I don't want to depend on literally nothing besides myself and the people around me that we have collectively chosen to depend on each other. And it does nothing but build brothership and partnership and freaking win-win situations for all of us.
Yeah.
So it's that drive to literally like, okay, let's see what I can do now on my own.
Yeah.
And let me see, you know, all these self-conscious things that come up within me, all these different fears, all these different, like, what the hell people are going, like, all that, it's all bullshit. So it's just literally get out of my own damn way. It's me versus me, and I feel like I'm figuring that out. So, all right, if it's me versus me, motherfucker, I'm just going to keep showing up because I enjoy that taste. I enjoy that thrill. I enjoy that. There's a part of me that enjoys that conflict.
Yeah.
But it's like before I thought... Before I kind of thought it was a bad thing.
Yeah, I still battle with that.
But I'm
trying to get that out of my head.
But now it's just like I can't fight who I am. And
I feel like people look at, I don't know about you, but for me, I feel like people look at, like they're like, dude, are you fucking? Will you shut up? Like, will you just be? Everyone wants you to just like calm down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're too loud. I always get them too loud. I cuss too much.
No, like not like that. Like, hey, just.
No, you're doing too many things.
Just chill.
What's I'm saying?
Just get some balance. Bro, but that's what I want to do. You know, like I feel like everyone wants to, not when I say everyone, I'm generally speaking, I know, but it's just, like.
That's what it feels like.
It just feels like, I feel that's why you feel like it's wrong.
Yeah.
Because most people just want to sit around and, I mean, I know,
but I don't want anybody like those people's lives. Yeah. My thing is if I don't know. When I look at other people, it's not really so much about I love people, man. You know, and we're all going through our own journey. We're all figuring it out on our own, and we can't convince nobody. But
the problem is I really like convincing people.
Yeah. See, that's the ego. You know?
I just love it. Does feel good.
Is that the ego thing? I
don't know, man.
I just love
That's a great question.
The three things that the three main things that I do right now, and I'm gonna get into financial advising too.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's the same mindset as what I'm about to say. So the three main things that I do that are really important outside of my kid, but we won't talk about the kid right now, but recruiting. Running, and the diversity and leadership training. Those are my three main situations. And the thing I like about the diversity stuff is people come in to that class and they're like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to listen to you. I want nothing about it. And at the end of the 3 days, they're fucking hyped on it.
Yeah.
They're super pumped on everything that we had to say. Their mind shifted. They had a mind shift.
Yeah.
Coaching. Some people come to me and they still don't believe me. They pay for my services and they don't listen to a word I'm saying. But like the people that I change their mind, like I actually change their belief system on how the human body is going to get faster at triathlon or marathon or whatever. The ones that shift it, like I shifted their mindset and I made them, like I got them, I changed their thinking.
Yeah.
And the same thing with recruiting. Like we may only have 25 recruiters, and I may only convince one of them to do the shit that I'm telling them to do, but I changed that one person's thinking for forever. Her thinking is completely different than before I met her. And then the same thing with, like, if you take it on a smaller scale, it's not really the fact that these kids are joining the military that I believe in. It's I'm changing their thinking from sitting in high school, having no clue what they're going to do, probably about to get a bunch of student debt on college or whatever it is. I'm changing their thinking to thinking that was a good idea, to completely shifting their focus into, now I'm going to go in the military and I'm going to follow this path, and hopefully they're going to listen to my advice. Yeah. Like, I like the, it's like, you like the spark that lights up, and you like the spark that lights up. It's like the most addicting thing.
And I do too.
And
I'm
then for financial advising, I'm so excited about that, because I just realized I've always been really into finance and like investing and all that, but I just realized, like, I was talking, I meet with, he's a pastor, and we have kind of conversations like this, more spiritual type conversations. But I mentioned to him that I was thinking about doing financial advising, and he knows all about me, right? He's like, bro, that's exactly what you need to be doing. Yeah. Because you're going to be able to, all those things that you're really into, he's like, you're going to take people who are struggling with money
and change everything.
And the shit that you're going to teach is not rocket science. Like, money is not that difficult. It's difficult, but it's not that complicated. Yeah. And he's like, you're going to get people, you're going to get 20 of your clients aren't going to listen to you, and then one of them is going to listen to you, and they're going to get obsessed with it, and they're going to become wealthy. Yep. And that one person, I'll fight through 100 people to get to that one. I love that. If ever one of them listened, then I would hate it. But they don't. Most people don't listen.
It's good.
Most people don't listen, bro. Most of them.
It's not.
I know, man. Yeah. It's just like, I don't feel like it's a bad thing, because from what I see, it's just like, it's a natural impulse. It's kind of, human beings want to give back, man. Mm-hmm. And we want to be able to do different things, and it's also like an internal drive. So it's like a part of everything.
So is that what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to give back.
I mean, kind of.
I don't think of it like that.
I know you
I
don't.
wish I did. I think of it from a selfish perspective.
You know what I think it is?
But that's what I feel like is the whole thing, is just like, people have to be really dependent. It's what are you doing for you? Well, because like, when people show up to go to therapy, or people to go to retreats, or people go look for a financial, they're really showing up for you to change their mind. Why are they paying you then? They're here to tell you. They want to be sold. They want to be like, my life is not the way I want it to be. Yeah. So I'm looking for outside resources to help me change my life. And clearly, I'm coming to you because something inside of you is motivating me or inspiring me to be different. And that's the thing. Yeah. And once they reach that point, I'm sure they're going to feel that way and give back too. Yeah. And it's that natural human. It's like, man, I think I'm watching my nature shit. It's like, it's a give take. It's the circle of life. It's all those type of things manifesting in a human being that want to go. And that's the way things change, little by little. It's like, if everyone was more financially free, man, a lot of things would be different.
People are, I've been posting about like financial stuff. I'm just trying to get a feel of like, if I could actually do this for a living. And I'm just saying my opinion. You're not there. You're just down. I'm not there, but I mean, I know a lot. Like, I've done my studying for sure. Like, I'm at a point where I'm ready to advise people, Hell yeah, bro. And, but it's so funny, 'cause like, people are like, the second I start talking about money, people are like, oh, why are you talking about money? What? That's not important.
You want to know why?
People get scared. They get scared.
I'm like, yes, it is
they
important.
Get scared because,
it's like a trigger, bro. Because
there's so many people who talk about that. Like, what were we talking about with pyramid schemes that one time, Ronnie?
Yeah.
It's like you start talking to someone and
we were.
And then all of a sudden
I was at Target, bro, and they like came at me trying to sell me some pyramid scheme.
But sometimes when you're doing that financial advising people, because it's like, people have like that scar tissue. They're like, I've seen this before. I feel like money's just a weird thing.
But it's so funny, because it's like, people are like, why are you caring so much about money? Like, what? Money's not all that matters. I'm like, I'm not saying that's what matters. Money's a tool.
To set up the life that you want.
I'm not trying to be a billionaire, but I'm trying to be. First of all, it's fun. It's controllable, so it's fun for me. Anything that I can control is really fun. But it's like, it does matter. You're stupid if you think it doesn't matter. That's a stupid thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, money doesn't make. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, broke and worried about where your next meal is going to be, and you're sitting there saying the money can't make you happy. No, money can't make you happy.
And that's where
that's a stupid thing. Yeah, of course.
But then again, those are, for me, when I hear that, those are tools for deeper belief systems that they are not willing to.
No, it's just another they're
not willing to confront that with inside themselves.
No, it's just an excuse not to
do the work. I was about to say not do the work of getting better, to not get in the work of freaking getting up in the morning working out, to not get in the work. Like, it's gonna feel good if you had a couple grand in the savings account, and it's gonna feel better when you got more. It's gonna feel better when you get investment accounts. It's gonna feel better. It's progressive, and those belief systems inside there.
I get so excited. I get so excited when I have an extra $1,000.
Me too, bro.
And I can invest it in something.
Couple of my big things right now is just like staying focused on the family, staying focused on the podcast. The foundation has been the military. It's helped me. I got 5 more years, bro, and I hit my 20, and I'm out.
Yeah,
my 20 is not even going to be in full active duty.
I got like 10, right? But what did we say? What did we have?
I think it was
like 10.
Yeah, 10 or 11.
Shit.
I got 5, and I'll have I think it was 14 active and 6 guard and 6 guard. So I'll have a retirement when I'm older. Yeah. But 20 years, and that's the plan, and I'm out, dog. So we're gonna be in this place, that's where I'm starting here. I got 5 years to figure this out. I got 5 years to figure out some day trading. Young Jay just walked in the building. What up, man?
Hey, you missed an hour and 15 minutes.
Late piece of shit, but that's all right. We're about to wrap up anyways.
But yeah, I think the main thing is just. That's because I'm struggling.
Close it out right now, bro. What do you think? What do you think is what makes a person the decisive element? What is it that you feel like is the shit that needs to be said, or from your perspective?
Well, I'm still trying to figure that out. But the thing I'm struggling with, is that like I'm so focused on like getting mad at people for not, like I still get mad at people for like when they're like, oh yeah, whatever their excuse. Yeah, everything is an excuse. You. If it's running, it's, oh, well, must be nice for this. Or there's some excuse for every thing that has any kind of success attached to it. There's someone making an excuse. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out, like, how do you not get mad at that? I'm trying not to get mad at it.
From my perspective, man, it's literally, I just came to the conclusion that I am literally not in charge of nobody.
Yeah, that's true. And that's the thing. I think that's where you're ahead of me.
Only in charge of myself. And that's why this podcast is called Decisive Element.
Yeah.
Because literally, I am the decisive element in my life. And no one else can literally force me to do anything. And when that is realized by everybody, I feel like a lot of stuff changes, because I'm not going to force you to be my friend. I'm not going to force you to be my wife. I'm not going to force you to be my best friend. I'm not going to force you to freaking come run with me. I can't force anybody to do anything.
Do you have the same outlook with your kids? Or do you feel like
I feel the same. Nah, I feel the same way. It's like I don't, honestly, when they were younger, it's like, bro, we got to play sports, we got to do this, we got to do that, and
I'm just letting them live right now.
Yeah, and
I love it.
And I can't force them to do anything.
Yeah,
my wife wanted to take my son to go do jiu-jitsu, and he was like, no, and I was like, man, he doesn't want to go. Like, I don't want to force him, but it's also at the same time, hey, like, son, like, you need to know how to defend yourself. You need to know what to do. And she took him at 5:15, 6 a.m. class, bro, and he's like, I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I think there's a balance. You also got to teach them that, hey, if we committed to this, you need to finish it out.
Yeah, and there's like basic stuff, but when they get older, it's not my job to tell them who to be. You want to be an engineer, you want to be this. It's not my job. I'm just here to, as a father. I mean, we can have, that's a whole nother podcast. Did
you see? Oh well, yeah, I'll come back.
We could do a father podcast.
Yeah, we will. Next one we'll do that.
But I feel
because I'm getting super into the psychology behind that too.
Yeah, so that's a whole. And, and we could talk about psychology. For me, it's also about
this is all psychology.
It is, but it's also in body. It's feeling. Because you've been talking about what feels good to you, you enjoy doing. So I think a lot of it, I mean, it is psychology. I'm reading this book called, I feel like, what's it called? It's called Eastern Body, Western Mind. The body is what really tells us what we really enjoy. Your nervous system is actually what gives all the signals to your brain, and which generates kind of thoughts based off what you feel, but you in process from your senses and the senses that we can't know. Like, how do you know when someone feels that negative vibe, that different stuff, those energy fields that come in there? That's a whole nother episode. But pretty much the body kind of gives us warning on what we like to do. It's not your mind telling you fucking, to keep showing up and do this. If you're not embodying that, and if you're not living that way, your mind can actually get fucked up in another way. So mindfulness brings distraction. get the hell out of your mind. If your mind's too full, get in your body, dance a little bit, make yourself fucking feel good, man. Most people can't even dance by themselves with their favorite song in their house, dude. You know how many conversations I've had with people about that?
I can do it in my house by myself, but I can't do it in front of people.
That's fine, but it's really all about you.
Yeah.
It's always all about
so
you,
you're saying
man.
I should dance every night.
Hell yeah. Feel good. Feel
good.
Yeah.
I'm on the first floor though. I gotta
close the blinds. Put some blind sheets up. Hey man, do whatever the hell that makes you feel good. Because if it makes you feel good, you know, just don't hurt people. You know, but
heroin.
It doesn't feel good to hurt people.
It doesn't feel good to hurt people. And if you hurt people, you're actually hurting yourself. So then if we all just took care of ourselves.
That sounded.
Like,
sorry. Go ahead.
If we actually just took care of ourselves, man, like it would be so much better.
Yeah.
So.
But hey, this is the best podcast I've ever done.
I'm glad.
First podcast.
Hey, this is the second episode, man. We'll freaking be letting these things out every Thursday. Is the release date? So this podcast will be out in next
Should be
Thursday.
coming out.
Really?
Yeah.
I have it on.
Are you ever gonna go live with these?
Yeah, I think we could.
It's a possibility in the
future.
future.
Well, you need 1,000 subscribers on YouTube to go live.
I don't think you have to have 1,000 to go live
On YouTube.
Maybe unless they changed it recently.
Yeah, because I tried to go live and it said you need to have 1,000.
Oh, really? Because
I only have 850 because no one wants to
I've done it on the AVG.
Well, we'll talk about this offline, man. I appreciate
you.
you freaking coming out here, man. I've always been motivated you, inspired you, and I'm glad you're freaking on this early with me. And I hope you just keep coming back while this keeps growing and being here, and hopefully, not even
so
hopefully.
I can come back on it?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we'll do Daddy Talks. This is what you'll do. You'll finish that book.
I'm about to be
The
finished.
Single Dads. And then we'll have you back on, and then we can do some poppy talk.
Bro, this ain't going away. This is my next career, bro. This is my next thing.
Listen.
All right.
Like,
listen, you guys are dads. I was like a stepdad for like a year almost. Kind of. Stepdad. I just dated a girl with a kid.
How was that? That sounds awesome.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Hey, to be continued.
Yeah, we'll do that on the next one.
Hey, but for real though, thanks for being here, bro. I appreciate you.
I didn't think we'd be able to go this long.
We
went an hour 20.
So we can go anytime.
Yeah.
Hey, but peace out. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Nakua looks stressed.